G'day guys, welcome back to Mango Invest. In this video we've done, some major portfolio reshuffling in order to increase, the annual dividends every single year. So the total, equity within the portfolio is sitting at 284, which is down from 290 since the last video. The cash position has now risen from, $15,000 to $22,000, which is pretty good. We've decided to sell some companies, purchase other companies, but also hold a little bit of cash at the same time, just in case of a market correction with the big tech such as Apple and Microsoft. But we'll have a look into the transactions and we'll just see, what's changed, and I'll try to explain my reasoning for that. So the last video, you would have seen the Microsoft sell on the 20th of January. 2 days later, we've actually got our first dividend of Alibaba, which is pretty good. So $279. Now, I'm not holding this company for the dividend. They've only just recently announced this dividend. I'm actually in the negative by, over like $15,000 in the company. So I'm buying and holding for the long term with Alibaba. But on the 25th of Jan, this is where I did most of the portfolio reshuffling. So ended up selling 10 shares of Microsoft as that stock price had risen to $404 per share. So $2,000 of that is profit, but a total selling of $4,000, which I could then allocate into either the cash position or another company. And then we sold McDonald's for a total equity. I sold completely out of my position, so I don't hold any McDonald's anymore, and I was able to get $12,000. A total profit was around $2,000 of that, the rest being my own personal cash. Now, the reason for that was, the whole goal of this dividend portfolio is to earn as many dividends per year as possible, so then we can retire early and just assist in that road to getting to $1 million. So, as McDonald's only pay a dividend yield of 2.5, 2.7%, but I had a lot of companies that I do trust, some very stable ETFs that are paying 8%, 10%, and 11%. So I was thinking, with that $12,000, how much more money would I actually be making if I was to allocate that into the high-paying dividend companies? Now, as you can see there, I purchased AG&C $10,000 worth, and then I ended up putting an extra little bit of money back into the cash position just to slowly build that up. Now, AG&C is a company, it's a real estate investment trust that actually pay like a good 14% dividend yield. Now, I only had like roughly $9,000 of total equity in the company, and given I have a fairly big risk tolerance, I could use that extra $10,000 to increase the annual income. So we're now sitting at $19,000 of total equity. All right, so $3,000 is currently in the red, but overall very happy. I've actually reduced the average buy price from $12 to $11, so that's pretty good there. And then the significance of this is, moving over to track your dividends, we've now gone from a yield of cost of 4.90 I believe, to now 5.24. So we've increased that a fair chunk. And then also with the annual income, that's gone from 14,200 I believe to 15,465. So just by doing that minor change of $10,000 into one company, we've increased the annual income by $1,000, which then makes the average monthly income to $1,289, which is really good. Now, a couple of things that are upcoming. As you can see, I own three different banks. So we've got two Canadian banks, being the Bank of Nova Scotia and the Bank of Montreal, and then we have one US bank. Now, I am going to potentially, in the next coming days, to completely sell out of the Bank of Montreal, purely because we've got a 6% yields on cost with those, which I could then allocate that total amount of money back into JEPI and QILD that are paying me an 8 and also 10% respectively. And if I was to sell the Bank of Montreal, it'll actually work out really well, because currently I'm in the green by 30%, which totals $2,115. But the total equity I would gain out of that would be let's go back, would be, $9,132. So imagine, $9,132, that is getting me a 6% dividend yield, and then putting that into an 8 or 10 or 11% dividend yield company. That'll definitely increase the annual income by, a further, I'd say $500 to $800. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, that's the whole goal, is to continually increase this annual income so we can retire off the dividends. Okay, so there you have it. Just a quick little portfolio update of the the equity, the cash, and some minor sort of portfolio reshuffling. If you did like the video, just give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you did want to sign up with Stake and get a free stock, just use the code ChrisM965 when creating your brokerage account. You'll get a free stock, and then I'll get a free stock. So it's basically free money. Why wouldn't you do it? But as always, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next video.